This is Aaron with Gun Club Radio, and this is the Titan X from Mantis. Now, this is not a video I expected to make or a podcast episode that I expected to publish, but when Mantis reached out, because we've worked with them in the past, doing some different stuff, but when they reached out and said like, "Hey, we have something new coming. Do you want to try it?" And I was like, I don't know, maybe. And they're like, no. Do you want to try it? I was like, fine. I'm so glad I said yes. And I'm not saying that because, I'm sure you guys are so tired of people saying like, buy this thing. This is the best thing since sliced bread. But literally, buy this thing. It's the best thing since sliced bread. It's actually sneaky good. It's great for so many applications. I'm trying to tell you. It's actually really good. Now, why is it good? Why do I say these things? What is it? Okay, the Mantis X, or the Titan X from Mantis, it's basically a laser training gun. It uses a laser to give you visual feedback. It's a training gun in the sense that there's no ammo that can be used. There's no, like, literally I'm pulling the trigger and lasers are coming out the front. There's no bullets there. When you take the magazines that are weighted, you can't put bullets in them. I'm trying to tell you, this is the safest way to train indoors. This is the safest way to introduce new people to firearms. I'm going to let you fill in the blank on what new people are. People who have never been around a gun, people who are new to the world of shooting. This is probably the best first experience for them. And also, it can also be effective for those who want to take their training and work on very specific things. So I'm going to walk through some of the features and trying to explain this for my guys on audio. You're probably just like, man, I don't know what you're talking about. So let's go from the bottom to the top. This has weighted magazines to give you that real firearms weight and also let the magazines drop free. Hopefully that sound isn't too disruptive. It's got good grip texturing so that when you squeeze, it kind of reminds you of the modern Glock like Gen 5. It's got the full size. This is based on the Glock 45. All the controls pretty much identical. And then, of course, it's got a trigger on it that is black. The frame is red, but the trigger and the controls are all black. And when you pull the trigger, not only does it pull and to give you an audible, physical, tactile feedback, it also has a physical reset. And it resets that click every single time you pull the trigger. So you can do a bill drill. Boom, just like that. 6 shots. You don't ever have to re-rack the slide. You don't have to imagine you're pulling the trigger. You're getting actual physical feedback. Now, we can talk about what you're missing from the gun in just a second, because we gotta keep going up to the top. This has got a USB-C charger, so thank God this technology is right where we ought to be in the future. No micro USB, because God knows I hate it when companies decide to put micro USB. What are you saving, 13 cents? God dang it. Pisses me off. One thing, standout feature. This comes stock. RMR/RMSC cut. I went ahead and installed one of my Wolf EDGs on here from Siley. It's kind of a cheaper optic, but this optic is sneaky good for the price. It's got basically an enclosed system. So I was like, hey, you know what? It's RMR cut. I have some RMSCs, but I don't want to take it off the guns that they're on. This is RMR cut. So let's go ahead and install it, and we can actually practice, just as we're punching the gun out, we can practice dropping that red dot in and getting that presentation right. Red dot training is something that even if you get to be, expert level, you want to maintain that. But also for the new shooter, when you are getting to a point when you say like, hey, I want to try red dots for the first time, or even for the experienced shooter, I want to try red dots for the first time. Why not throw it on something unconsequential like a Titan X, and then you can get those reps in. You can actually get that physical feedback. You can pull the trigger and see how the red dot's moving. So we want to make sure that we are not just developing, but we've developed the right habit, the right motor functions, the right muscle memory as we're pulling that trigger from front to rear. Like all that information is available. And it's not just available because the red dot's on there. It's available because you can use the app to track your data, to track your movement, to track all that. And for some people, it might be too much information, but you don't have to look at it all. There's ways you can kind of streamline what you're looking at. But let's talk about, before we even talk about the app, let's talk about the issues. The only issue I see here is the thing that's keeping it at the price that it's at. And the price is actually less expensive than the competition. The competition doesn't have any of the data or any of the tracking. And I can't remember if they have weighted magazines. I think they do. But the point is, if they don't have the tech in there that can interface with their app and kind of show you what you're doing and give you feedback and actually, I'll show you what the app can do briefly. But the slide doesn't move on this. For $200, that's what it costs. It's less than the competition. Some of the competition costs up to $300. Depends on the gun. Depends on how rare the gun is. But for this, $199, and you, for less than 1,000 rounds of ammo, so however long it's going to take you to shoot that much ammo, especially if you buy it at the range, golly, that would be more expensive. For less than what some people spend on ammo, you can get a device that you can not just train yourself on, but train your family members in an extremely safe format. Work on that trigger discipline, making sure that your trigger finger is high along the slide, not sitting in the trigger guard on the trigger. You can also work on that trigger pull, making sure that as you pull the trigger, you're not disrupting the gun. You're not creating too much input. Also, as you kind of are working on different things, you can work on your grip. Is your grip good, or do you have kind of a bad grip? Are you gripping poorly, or are you gripping well? And you can kind of coach your friends and your family or your students if you're an instructor. I think every instructor should get one of these. I think that's a given. But if you're an instructor, you're already thinking about this. Like I don't have to sell it to you. And I'm not trying to sell it to anybody. I'm just trying to make sure that you guys know what this thing is, because this is the first piece of tech I'm actually excited for in a while. Like, this is actually really good. So here's where we're at. Let's go to the app. So the app is scary good. Not because it's just the most perfect app ever. I think there may be some ways it could be a little bit more streamlined. But let's open it up. You're opening the app. It wants to connect. You hit connect. If it's not already synced, you can hit the button on the top of the gun. When it turns blue, that's how you know you're connecting. And now it's going to give us options on different drills that you can do. Holster draw analysis, because this is a Glock 45 size, you can literally put it in the Glock 19/Glock 45 holsters, hook it up to your gun belt, and then from the holster, you run some drills. And so let's do the, I've already tried to do this earlier today. I didn't do much. The one reload one drill, and it's saying make sure the gun is empty. Well, thankfully, because it's using the Mantis X10 technology, which is their best gyroscope data. And let's put this on the table. Make sure it's sitting still so it can calibrate. And it looks like it's ready to go. Gonna do the one reload one. On target ready. It was a little slow. I actually got a score of 100 on that. So that was a 100% trigger pull. And then I didn't disrupt the gun at all. Was able to pull that cleanly. And 2.51 seconds for that drill. I'll show you that. That's pretty good. So both trigger pulls were immaculate. I was a little slow to pull that trigger though. Once you under 1 second, but I was already aiming at the target, you know. But there's all sorts of stuff here. So once you're in the app, you can kind of take a look. You can also see in the app kind of how you were manipulating the gun, where the muzzle of the gun was going as you were doing your thing. None of this data actually means anything to me. You can check your times. What are you averaging? If that matters to you, it's there. There's a ton of information just in the app that personally I don't ever use, but perhaps you're nerdy enough to do it, and more power to you. All right, so we've talked a little bit about what this product is, what this product isn't, and let's talk about it a little bit more, because I mean, when you compare it to, like, this is, you know, Glock 19, the trigger on these things, they don't reset, as we, you know, this is a clear gun. We've already cleared it. Once you pull that trigger, there's no reset. So you definitely want, I mean, you can hand this to somebody and you can let them walk through some of their drills. I mean, I guess you could always hand somebody a real gun, but for a lot of people, getting a real gun in their hand for their very first time trying to learn about firearms may be too much, maybe kind of frightening or frustrating. Can't do that. Let's maybe avoid that if possible. This is great for maybe somebody who has firearms trauma, because that exists. Let's not be weird, guys. Some people do have issues with violence and trauma, and maybe they're trying to overcome that. This might be a good tool for helping them to get over that or get through that with you. Obviously, you guys are trying to do it together, get through it together. And then, of course, force on force. If you are an instructor and you guys are teaching some sort of combatives, I wonder, and I don't know, but I wonder if this is a good option for basically some sort of like mano-a-mano, one-on-one kind of like a fight scenario where you're training and you're trying to get to the gun and you're trying to actually beat the other person to the punch, per se. Would this be good for that? Would this be good for indoor training where you don't want to point real guns at people on accident, of course? Is this the right tool for you? I don't know, but I'm going to assume so, because based on what I know, it's the right tool for you. Come on, guys. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. It's just gyroscopes and batteries, USB-C, lasers. It's a laser gun. I'm into it. All right. So I'm going to look to see if I can find my affiliate links. I'll post them down below. Honestly, I don't care if you use them. You can use it if you want to. But what I do want you to do is, if you really think this product's for you, and you can afford it, obviously, there's that. Let's be responsible. You should pick it up. Period. And if for some reason you do pick it up, let me know, because I would be really interested to see how you're using it or what you're using it for. I'm going to also post a link to our Discord. We have a Discord called The Gun Club. I talk about it all the time, and we try to give things away every once in a while, especially during our live streams. And so if you join the Discord, I might give you a call and be like, hey, man, I need to talk to you about something. You won! Congratulations! You know, it'll be a lot of fun. But don't join because you want to win. Join because you want to join one of our communities, whether it's the anime community or the gaming community. Right now, we're talking about Arc Raiders a lot and trying to get guys together to run some missions. And also, we talk about firearms gear, what we're running, try to give each other gear recommendations, all sorts of stuff. It's a fun time. It's a great community. I love those guys. They are incredible. I hope you'll join us. All right, guys. Did you like the Mantis? Do you want one? Because I have one and I still want one. All right, guys. Peace.